ball just to get... I'm going to do lots of muscle releases tonight actually. Whether that's actually a good thing or not, it might be a wee bit on the painful side, but we'll see how it goes. So start with a tennis ball, just hold it for now. I want you to stand with your feet hip distance. And let's do one roll down. As you're doing the roll down, I want you to just be aware of where you feel the tightness first in your body. If it's on left leg, right leg, lower back, left side of lower back, just be aware of where you feel it first. So just roll the chin in towards the chest and very slowly roll the hands down towards the mat. You might actually even feel it in your calf as well. It's another place where we can compensate and get tight. And let's slowly roll back up. So if you definitely felt it on one side compared to the other, start with that foot. So just initially, let's roll the sole of the foot with the tennis ball. And again, if you felt it more on the outside of your leg, roll more to the outside of your outside edge of the foot. But if you just felt it kind of generally in the back of your leg, you can just roll the whole of the sole. And just making sure you're getting into the arch of the foot, round the heel. The outer edge, round the toes. And then we're going to really work on the ball of the foot here as well. Just really get into the ball of your foot. I want you to take a step back on the leg that's not on the ball. And with as much pressure as you can tolerate, try and just roll the ball of the foot over the surface of the ball. So the knee's going to come in and out a bit. Probably the ball scoot off as well. And again, with as much pressure down onto that ball as you can tolerate. Okay, I'm going to turn side on. We're going to get a bit of a foot stretch here. So I want you to have your toes just on the ball and just try and then drop the foot down so the toes are lifting up. So you're going to get a stretch into the backs of the toes, hopefully. Probably going to get a bit of a stretch into the arch of your foot here as well. And then just, if you can, without the ball scooting away, just lift and lower the heel. 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Okay, so just compare your feet to start, and then let's do a roll down. See what the bad side feels like. So chin to chest, let's roll down. And notice, do you get any further or lower on the side that you've just rolled? My left hand hit the floor well before my right there. Big deep breath in. And roll back up. So it's amazing just by releasing the tension in your foot, how much that frees up everything going up the other way. So just repeat it on the other side. Again, just start generally rolling the foot. Again, if you felt anything more on the outside of the leg, work on the outside of the foot. And just get around the backs of the toes, the ball, arch. And our feet are incredibly important for day to day, obviously, but when we ride as well, we need to have the movement and the flexibility and the toes to allow the rest of the leg to work properly. And if you're a toe gripper, then the rest of the leg just gets very rigid as well. And another thing that I've learned is a lot of people think they're dropping their heel when in actual fact they're lifting their toe. which is why they're not getting the length down the back of the leg. So we're going to be working a wee bit on that later on as well. Okay, again, just come into that lunge position and try and just roll from side to side over the surface of the ball, over your ball of the foot. And then let's go on to our toe stretch again. So just have the toes on the top of the ball, trying to get the sole of the foot down. If you want a bit more of a stretch, keep the toes on the ball and lift the heel off. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one final roll down. Yeah, notice are we getting any further this time? Chin to chest, roll down. How does this one feel compared to the first one? My right hand landed about a millisecond before my left that time, so it's definitely freed up as well, and roll back up. Okay, let's get down to sitting. So we're going to work a wee bit on our shin. So if you sit with pretty much like our mermaid sitting, so you're going to put the ball underneath, below your knee, and on that muscle basically on the outside of your shin. Now there's two places here that can be quite tight, outside of your shin and the back of the shin on the top here. But if you start, initially just roll your shin up and down, so you're not directly on bone, you're on that sort of soft muscle on the outside of your shin. If you find somewhere pretty sore, stay there and then start to flex and point the ankle. So you're then starting to work the muscle and have that gentle pressure, gentle with a tennis ball or whatever, but you've got a bit of pressure with the ball and you're working the muscle at the same time. Do that a couple of times, and then again you can work into a different area if you find somewhere else. Same thing. Now you can get really nasty here at the same time. Feel the inside edge of your shin with your thumb. So you can press up the back. With your thumb you can press into the back of your shin bone. Hopefully you can feel that. So there can be pretty tender spots in here as well. So as you rub your thumb down the back of your shin, oh that's a horrible spot for me there. Same thing, point and flex the ankle at the same time. So you can actually kill two birds with one stone. You can get the outside muscle and the inside muscle at the same time. These two muscles, so the muscle that your thumb is on can quite often become overactive if your core is not working correctly. And this is pretty flipping awful for me here, I have to say, on the thumb side. Oh. So basically muscles down here will get overworked because something higher up or lower down in your foot, but more likely higher up isn't working correctly. And again, let's go slightly lower one more time, see if you can find somewhere else. Same thing, just once you get somewhere, point and flex. Oh, okay, take the ball out. We're just going to come down onto your side. The ball is now going to come above your knee, but again, on that lower side. Come right down and stack the knees. If it's too intense to extend and bend both legs together, step the top leg back and just bend and extend that bottom leg on the ball. So now we're working on our IT band kind of area. So this might be painful if anybody does any running. And same principle, if you find somewhere pretty horrible, stay there, and then again you can point and flex the ankle, or just keep bending and straightening. Once that area eases, you're going to work it slightly higher and just quietly go up the outside of that leg. Another thing you can do is you can circle the ankle. Does that make any difference to how it feels? That actually eases now. Again, just quietly work up. Oh. Last time. Okay, let's take the ball out. Let's come back up to sitting. Let's work on our calf on the same leg. So you can place the back of the leg, keep it straight, just down on the ball, other leg can be bent, and then with as much or as little pressure as you like. Obviously the more you lift yourself up and press down on it, the more pressure you're going to get, but again, just work roll the ball side to side on your calf. I hate my calves being rolled here, so I'm not going to take very much pressure at all. And again, you can just slowly work up the calves. Try and be aware as to how tight or tender they are. That again to give you an idea side to side. If one calf is very tight, is that the side that it's harder to drop the heel down and lengthen through the back of the leg? We're all going to be piles of jelly at the end of this. I will do some exercises at the end to get everything activated again. Okay, let's move that up to our glutes now. Leave the hamstrings and we're going to come up to our glutes. So, tennis ball is coming under one seat bone. If you can cross the ankle then on that side that you have it on, and let's just roll around the seat bone to start. So we're getting that big glute muscle at the back. So you should definitely be aware of where your seat bone is now. Everybody's enjoying this, I can see their faces. If anybody struggles to find their seat bones in the saddle, you could do this before you get on. Okay, take the ball slightly to the outside of the hip and then just rock the knee that's out to the side, take it over and back a few times. So we're now getting more into the outside hip rotators. And again, be aware how sore or not this is. Okay, let's take it out. Bend the knees, feet are on the floor. We're now going to come up into our lower back on that same side. So just to the side of your spine, don't have it directly on your spine. You can lift yourself slightly off so you are on the ball, and tiny movement side to side to start. Gradually starting to work your way up 1 inch at a time. Just go side to side a few times. If it feels okay, then go up another inch, side to side. It's actually an exercise in itself, partly this anyway. Gradually getting yourself up towards the tips of the shoulder blades. once you're at the base of the shoulder, at the tips of the shoulder blades, you can then set the hips down, so as that feels okay for everybody's lower back. And then come into some big arm circles with the arm on the side that the ball is on. So it's got the hand's going to come up towards the ceiling and overhead, and then around the floor and back up towards the ceiling. Last circle. Let's shift that ball slightly higher again, so it is pretty much on the muscles of the shoulder blade. You're going to take the arm up towards the ceiling. I want you just to reach the hand up towards the ceiling, keeping the arm straight, and then just drop the shoulder back down towards the mat. Keeping the arm straight the whole time, so the shoulder's going to lift away from the floor, and then the shoulder drops down. Let's go for a few more. Let's bring our hands behind your head. We're going to do a few mini sit-ups here. Again, just lift and lower. Try and find, you can just move the ball about. It doesn't necessarily have to stay in the same place. Obviously, the more we move, the more muscles we're going to hit. If you do find somewhere quite sore, stay there for a few more breaths and exercises. And let's take it up, literally, you might need to take it out and then set it in at the top of the base of your neck, top of your shoulder. And again, just move the arm around, circles again. Let's take the ball out, take a second just to see what that side of the body feels like on the mat. Do you feel like it's completely pancaked down onto the floor? And I'm afraid we've got to do it all over again on the other side. I definitely now feel like I'm completely lopsided. Slowly back up. And start again with the shin. Ball on the outside of the shin. Again, just roll backwards and forwards, and if you're keeping the pressure down on that ball as hard as you can, and if you do find somewhere sore, then we're going to point and flex the ankle. This side isn't anywhere near as sore for me. Don't really feel anything at all on this side. And again, you can get the thumb of the other hand and just start to press into the back of the shin. See if you can find anywhere tender. If you do, again, keep pointing and flexing. There's a couple of people in this group that have broken ankles and legs. It'd be interesting to see if there's a big difference in the muscles. Yeah. Do you not get any of this rehab on the lovely NHS? Okay, let's go down the shin again another wee bit. See if you can find somewhere else. Okay, coming right down onto your side. Ball is coming to the top, just above the knee. And right down. And again, if it's too much to have both legs extending and bending at the same time, Just take the top leg out of the equation and just bend and straighten that bottom leg. Gradually starting to work the ball up the outside of that thigh. Let's go up an inch. Yeah, so this is nastier for me on this side, this area. So you will probably hit a bit of quad and a bit of hamstring here, the very lateral aspect of it. And again, just go a wee bit higher. And last time. Okay, back up to sitting. Let's start with the calves again. Straighten the leg that you're going to roll and just start to take that ball side to side with as much or as little pressure as you can tolerate. Well done, and take it out. Let's come onto these glutes, seat bone area first, then get that ankle up, and then just roll around. Take the ball slightly to the side, and then, oh, horrible, horrible, horrible. Take the knee out to the side. Oh. I can't speak. What's happening or what side? What side? I'm tighter on here. Oh. Oh, I think we'll see about for another day. Okay, I'm coming off. Okay, coming into your lower back. Well done. I think I need to do a bit more of that, that side. Knees bent, feet on the floor, and again, just as much or as little pressure as you can tolerate. Not coming onto your spine, so it's the muscles that are running down at either side of the spine, so literally come back to the side of your spine and then slightly out to the edge again. And you can just slowly work it the whole way up. So you're coming then onto the back of your rib cage. And eventually we're going to reach the tip of the shoulder blades. Once you get there, come and get the hips down. Lie into it for a second and then just slowly start to circle the arm overhead, around the floor and back up. higher so it's more on the back of the shoulder blade, and then reach the hand up towards the ceiling. The shoulder lift slightly away from the ball, and then just drop. Find somewhere where you feel like you are doing some good. So just drop the shoulder back down onto the ball and then reach it away. Last time, and then we're going to take the ball out and just lift base of the neck, top of the shoulder. Again, we're sort of into upper traps here, so these can be tender enough. And just again move and circle the arm around. Just take the ball out, again, take a second, see how everything feels now. And then we're going to do 3 releases on our front. And definitely feel flatter to the floor anyway. Slowly we're going to turn around onto your tummy. And then we're going to work the front of the shoulders. So we're going to get into our wee pec minors next. So, place the ball at the front of your shoulder. So basically, where your chest and shoulder meet, that's where that muscle is going to be. And then extend the arm out to the side. So to get more into this pec minor muscle, start to basically turn away from the ball and the outstretched arm and come back again. Hopefully that feels, obviously, if it is really horrible, please don't do it. But this is going to be a muscle that, again, is going to be pretty tight for a lot of us. And press into the ball as much or as little as you like. Play about with the wrists as well. You can flex and extend the wrists at the same time. Does that give any different sensation? Go for a couple more. And switch sides. Again, just turn away from the ball, keeping pressure down through that shoulder. 2, 3. 4, and last one, 5. Okay, coming into your hip flexors. So if you imagine a diagonal line from your belly button to your hip bone, place the ball on one side on that diagonal line. Once it's in, just bend and straighten the leg on that side. You can also, with the knee bent, you can move the foot out and in, so it's going away from the body, and then across towards the other leg. So the hip flexor runs across the front of the hip, but it also runs up your spine. So this is why you may start to feel a funny sensation in your tummy doing this. These muscles, again, can often be tight if we're sitting a lot. You'll struggle to drop your knee down in dressage if these are tight. Okay, last movement, and move it over to the other side. Again, diagonal line from belly button to hip bone. Start with some knee bends. and then you can keep the knee bent and just windscreen wiper that shin out and in. Okay, let's just take the ball out. And let's just get into a wee bit more of our normal Pilates. Hopefully you feel a wee bit more release. We're going to have to activate it all now. Let's start with the elbows in line with the shoulders. So we've got our goal post arms just to begin with. Head is coming down onto the mat. Feet can be as wide as is comfortable for your lower back. And let's just try and think about drawing the belly button away from the mat. I'm just going to go straight into head and shoulder lift with one arm. Let's just lift that elbow and forearm away from the mat and set back down and then switch. Head and shoulder can lift with the arm and back. Let's keep going. 3, 4, keeping the front of the feet down. Keeping long through the spine. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Heads coming back down to the mat. We're going to just alternately lift each hand away from the floor with the opposite leg to start. So left hand, elbow stays down, left hand lifts, raise the right leg and set back down and switch. Right hand, left leg. 2, keep going. 3, again, head can lift slightly if that's more comfortable. 4, really keeping the pelvis down and stable on the mat. There's no movement side to side with the pelvis. Strong diagonal line from the shoulder to the opposite hip. Let's go one more each side. Head down, slide the hands out. So you're going to aim the hands and the feet for the four corners of the mat and really stretch yourself nice and long. Lift the belly button away from the mat. Let's come into opposite arm and leg now. So coming into swimming. Reach the hand and foot away. Think long diagonal. And then think you're trying to reach the leg and the hand away before you lift. So we're keeping the length as much as we can. Six, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Slide the hands back into goal post. So we're going to just come into mobility exercise here. So we're going to lift our left leg, push into the right hand and rotate. So that left leg can go as far back as is comfortable. Mine's nowhere near the floor. Make sure you're feeling a good stretch in the front of the hip, and you're going to get a stretch in the shoulder on the right side, and drop it back down and change. So press into the right hand, lift the left leg. Right leg. Confusing everybody. We're getting rotation, we're going to get a stretch into the front of the hip joint and just keep going side to side. 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more each way. 9 and 10. Well done. Hands can come under shoulders. Let's push your hips back over our heels into child's pose. Get that lower back release. Drop the tailbone down. Let's come onto our side. Okay, so we're going to start to activate some of these muscles that we have just released. We're just going to come straight into our normal climb. So just have the knees say at 45, thighs at 45 degrees. Make sure this top waist is nice and long. Try and get 4 fingers between the rib cage and the hips. Push that top knee forward. So there's a step from the top knee to the bottom knee. Press the top heel down to take the knee up. And the more you can press down through the heel, hopefully the more you start to feel the muscles working in this top side. Trying to keep the pelvis really still. Core is switched on. There's no upper body movement at all. Okay, let's come into our Charleston climb. So knee comes up first, then heel. So we're working both pairs of internal, external rotators. Again, try and keep the pelvis still. I have a tendency with this exercise to drop and roll the pelvis in as I lift my heels. Try. If you do that, the hip's not actually moving anymore. You think it is, but it's only because your pelvis has moved. Again, just trying to work this hip joint in both directions. Good. Okay, let's rest the top leg and straighten the top leg out. We're going to bend the bottom knee so the thigh is really out at 90 degrees. Keeping the thigh in place, I want you to try and just lift the foot away from the mat and back down again. So the shins rotating away from the floor and back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Let's swap the legs around. Straighten the bottom leg, bring the top leg out in front. Let's lift and lower the bottom legs. We're just working the inner thighs of the bottom leg. 2. And again, really think of lifting from here. Don't be just lifting from your foot. Really think, right, I'm going to squeeze this inner thigh up. Long through the waist. And let's just go down halfway and back up again, so it's not the whole way to the floor. No breather now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, onto the elbow. So options here are going to be keep the knees bent, but the knees are in line with the hips, in line with the shoulders. So from here we're going to come up and back down. If you want to make this harder, cross your ankles. So the top ankle is in front, but what I would say is make sure this shoulder or this arm is well out in front of you, because if it's under here, you're going to shoot away past your shoulder. So this is easier option. Cross the legs for the harder option. So from here, we're going to take the hips up towards the ceiling. Thread the needle through. Back up and down. Well done, that's 1. We're going to do 5. And again, lift up. Thread the needle. And down. 2. 3. 4. Last one. 5. Well done. Switch sides. Simple climb. So thighs at 45 degrees. Push that top knee forwards. Press the heel down to lift the knee up. Top hip is long. Make sure you're not working the same side. You'd be walking around in circles. Try and keep this lower waist lifted away from the mat. Keep the belly button drawn in. Pelvis and upper body is still. There's just one leg we're moving. Good, and then come into your climb, or our Charleston climb. Knee up, heel up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Well done. Slide the top leg away, bottom leg, have the thigh at 90 degrees, and then again we're going to try and lift windscreen wiper the foot or the shin away from the mat and back down. 2, 3, I feel like a far less movement on this side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Straighten that leg out. Top leg is coming in front. Stretch and reach the bottom leg away. Just lift and lower. Again, use the top inner thigh to lift. Keep that leg nice and long. And then let's go halfway down and back up again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up onto the elbow. Again, Again, have that elbow out and well out in front if you've got your legs crossed or stacked. But we can do the same thing with the upper body. So again, we're going to do 5. We're going to lift up, thread the needle through, back up towards the ceiling and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Oh, well done. My feet are nearly thinking about cramping up now. Right, we are coming up onto our knees. So have one knee on the mat and then one foot. Cross the hands. So it's just a rotation exercise here, so shouldn't be terribly hard work. So again, mobility wise from here, try and stay tall and just try and turn towards that front knee and back to center. Try and think about keeping the pelvis facing forwards. Try not to think about side bending into your rotation, because if this is happening, it's probably happening when you ride. So try and think, right, waist is going to stay the same length as I twist. And again, 3, 4, and last one this way, 5. Change the legs round. I look lopsided even now before it starts. Same thing from here, waist stays the same length as you rotate round. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Let's come back onto both knees. We're going to take them one leg out to the side. Foot is on the floor, sole of the foot is on the floor. So hands are coming behind your head. We're going to do a mini side bend away from the straight leg. Pull the tummy in, spine is supported just as far as you can comfortably go, and back. Let's go for 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take the top arm now over towards, stretch that waist out. Now, very slowly turn the toe of the straight leg up towards the ceiling and back down. If that doesn't feel nice, if it's too much of a stretch for anybody, please don't do it, just stay with the other stretch. Hopefully we're starting to get a wee bit more into the inner thigh. Let's do a couple more. Change it round. Sole of the foot is down on the mat to begin with, hands behind your head. So we're going to side bend away and back, pulling that belly button in. Try and imagine you're between 2 panes of glass, so it's a direct side bend. We're not folding forwards or backwards, although the thought of folding it backwards doing this makes me shudder in the lower back. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one. 8. Well done. Stretch that waist out. And again, if you want to just start to slowly turn the toes up towards the ceiling and then back down towards the floor. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5. Well done. Let's come down to sitting. Let's do a wee bit more tummy work just before we finish with our stretches. So we're going to start with the feet on the mat. Really concentrate on keeping these big toes pressing down into the floor. Those are going to be our anchors tonight. And our C curves, we're going to place our hands basically on the outside of our thighs. So from here, start nice and tall. Shoulder blades down our back. Pull that spine up towards the ceiling. We're going to rock off the seat bones. Think about just drawing the pubic bone up. Only go so far back you don't lose your big toes, and then pull yourself back up and restack back. And again, scoop into that tummy, lengthen the lower spine down towards the floor, but keep the big toes down on the mat. Back up. 2. Let's do 5. 3, 4, last one, 5. Let's straighten the legs out as long as it feels comfortable enough. Now think about pushing the heels away if you can. Get nice and long through the backs of these legs. Hands will come out in front. Keeping the arms parallel to the legs. Scoop into the tummy, reach the hands forwards. Try and get the ears in between the arms and then reach. Keeping those arms parallel to the legs. Let's pulse forwards for 1, 2, 3. Restack back up to vertical. And again, lengthen through those heels. Scoop into the tummy. Reach the hands forwards, keeping them parallel to the mat. Ears should be in between your arms. Gently pulse forwards for 3, 2, 1. Restack. Last time. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, well done. Grab your band. Let's come down onto our back. And just hook the band over one foot, and let's just start with our hamstrings. Keep thinking just about pressing the heel up towards the ceiling rather than trying to get the leg as sort of far up as possible. Think more about just gently lengthening through the back of the leg and pressing the heel away. Probably feel a bit more of a stretch that way. And keep the back of the pelvis down on the mat. Again, if you want more of a stretch, you can straighten the other leg out. Let's very gently start to take the leg across the body and away from the body. Across the body is horrible. And out to the side. Across. Last time. Change legs. Again, anchor the elbows down, press the heel up. slide the other leg out. And very slowly take it across the body and then out to the side. So if you're really wondering why you're getting more tingling into your foot as you take it across, it's because you are making your sciatic nerve lengthen. So don't do it too much. If it's really horrible, don't take it across. If you're getting a bit of a tingle, that's why, that we're just getting a bit of length into that sciatic nerve. Okay, set the band down. Grab the knee off that leg that was just in the band, keeping the other leg now straight along the mat. We're going to take this knee across the body to the floor. Get the foot resting on the mat. And then open the arm out on the same side as the leg that has just come across your body. You can gently press down on that top knee as well if you want more of a stretch through that top hip. Let's come back to centre, switch the legs round. So slide one leg out, pull the other one in, take it across to the floor, and then extend the arm out along the mat, and then just gently press down on the top knee. Come back to centre. Just pick one knee up at a time, hug them in. You need to lift your head off tonight, really get as much length into that back as you can. If your neck's getting tired, set the head down and then just circle these knees round. Well done, folks. We are done. You can just use your legs to pull yourself back up to sitting.